I watched that last week.
The new one?
The new one.
Is it good?
It's fucking hot trash.
But does it do the full wraparound? Is it?
No, because what happened was, right, I watched it, and it's 2 hours 40. Which is
Oh,
fucking
God,
insane. It should be under 2 hours. It should be a fast-paced romp.
Yeah, that's not me being mad at a film being long.
No, because there are some long films that I love.
I don't think a new Indiana Jones film needs to be 2 hours 40.
No.
I don't know if there's enough character development or interesting plot lines that you really need to be exploring.
No, you could have easily cut 2 of the car chases. No one would have been upset about that.
Okay.
And we then, for the last 30 minutes, skipped through it.
Really?
We were like 2 hour mark. We were like, fuck my life. And then we were like, okay, skip. What? Okay, this looks important. Skip. This looks important. Skip. Until, do you mind if I spoil? Can I spoil Indiana Jones 5?
I had the dream of they were gonna go through every previous Indiana Jones film.
Oh, they could have and didn't.
Oh.
I don't know if that was self-restraint or just that they filmed that and cut it because it was going to be a 5 hour film.
Because it's the Dial of Destiny, right?
Yeah.
Does he go back in? Is he there? Does he shoot JFK?
Oh.
Well, that would be later, right?
Yeah, that's actually it because he's from the 40s.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Indiana Jones lands on the moon.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Just all these big events that happen later on.
9/11. It's Indiana Jones.
Wow, we're getting onto that tone already. Let's just instantly throw down with one of those gags.
Just goes through all of history doing the worst shit.
Oh my God. Okay.
But it's all by accident. He's just chasing a Nazi, and every time he's about to catch him, he accidentally causes a global catastrophe.
Wow.
And then time jumps to the next one.
Okay.
He's stumbling through a supermarket, but all the crisp packets he's knocking over are thousands of people's lives.
Okay, great. I'm glad we're on this train.
Oh fuck.
Okay.
So
So you're saying he did or he didn't?
that doesn't happen, sadly.
Okay.
But they do go back in time.
Right.
And it's weird, but not the worst part of the film, because there is one. It's so dumb. They're flying along in their German plane, and it's like the 50s or the 60s at this point, and it's like an ex-Nazi scientist who's trying to go back in time, and he's trying to go back in time and to kill Hitler, but for the wrong reasons.
What? Because he wants to.
He's like, the only reason the Nazis lost the war was because Hitler's the worst. What if we got someone who was more the worst and replace him with Giga Hitler?
Okay.
So he wants to knock out Adolf before he starts trying to micromanage the war and ruining it. That's his plan.
Okay, that's kind of a comedy. If handled well.
If handled well.
A fun premise.
And then Indiana Jones is like, no, Giga Hitler belongs in a museum.
Okay.
You have a wrestle. And at this point, all these sort of 1950s, 1960s, ex-Nazis, they look like normal guys in suits.
Right.
All the way. But the moment they got on the plane for the finale, they've all put their armbands on and they've put their uniforms on because they're getting ready.
Well, I assume they're all going to die. And you need to make it very clear they're the bad guys.
That's true.
You can't have any.
If Indiana Jones is going to throw someone out of a plane.
Yeah. You want to see the swastika on their arm as they fall to their death.
And hit the propellers and explode.
Okay.
But it turns out the Dial of Destiny was a trap. It's not a time travel. It is a time travel device, but you can't pick where it goes. It only goes back to Archimedes. Archimedes invents it, right? And he's like, I'm going to leave this for the future. I'm going to write on it that it's a time travel machine.
Right.
And then when people use it, they'll come back to now when I'm under attack by the Romans and the future people will save me from Rome. And so the plane flies in and it's the middle of the siege of Syracuse and thousands of Roman ships are catapulting Archimedes' house.
That's kind of cool.
And
this sounds kind of rad.
I don't know. It's not handled as well as I'm describing it. Because you've got these guys just shooting their Lugers out the side of this passenger plane at the Roman boats.
Wait, but I thought it feels... We're going to move past just talking about the Nazis. But I thought they were kind of into the Roman Empire, right?
Yeah, but this isn't what they want. They thought they were going back in time to 1939. But then they turn up and they're like, Oh no, it's because the Romans are shooting the plane. So this like hot-headed guy's just like, fine, I'll pistol you from 800 yards away while traveling at 700 miles an hour. That'll stop them shooting ballistas at me.
Okay, this is fucking wild.
And all the Romans and Greeks think it's the other side has brought a dragon to the battle.
That's cool.
And they're like, get the dragon, no!
Oh, shit.
Because the first thing that happens is like a scorpion pierces one of the engines, and then fire starts coming out of the engine. So it's like this fire-breathing dragon that's swooping over the ships. It's just terrible.
I'm kind of into it.
We'll just watch that one bit then.
Yeah, that sounds
Skip
kind
the
of
rest.
jokes. Wow. Okay. But then, how do they get back? Can they just turn it backwards and just?
Oh well, there's a little kid who helped them before, and there's a scene earlier where they meet that little kid, and he's got a cardboard cockpit because he's learning to drive a plane.
Right.
And he's like, oh, and then there's like a real pilot who's like on holiday, sipping a margarita, going, oh yeah, lift your flaps, buddy.
Oh no,
He's like,
because the kids have to fly the plane at some point.
So the kid then, 4 hours later, has to like get another plane to follow them through the portal, land it perfectly on the rocky beach, load up and get out of there before the portal closes. But here's the bit that I hated the most, was Indiana Jones gets like wounded by like a Roman centurion, or was it a Nazi? I can't remember. He gets wounded.
Right.
And he's like, it's fine, leave me here. And the new lady is like, no, you have to come back with us. And he's like, the whole intro of the film was how miserable he is in the 60s or 50s or whenever it is.
Okay.
Because he's retired. He can't be a professor anymore. He can't do adventures anymore. He lives in this like shit apartment where his neighbors played loud music.
Okay.
He's a grumpy old grumpster whose wife left him, and Shia LaBeouf died. He got drafted and sent to Vietnam and fucking died off screen.
Wow.
So now Indiana Jones is just like a fucking grumpy old man yelling at the neighbors' kids for playing their Beatles music too loudly.
Oh God.
So he's just like, don't take me back. I'd actually quite like to see the ancient Greece. I'll just chill out here. Even if I die, I get to talk to Archimedes and see how it
I get to
really
see
was
the history
that I spent my life trying to figure out.
the time, sure.
And so Phoebe Waller-Bridge is just like, nope, and knocks him out in one punch, slings him over her shoulder, drags him back, kicking and screaming, and his life is ruined.
Oh.
And then he wakes up in his apartment with a bullet wound, and he's like, I wish I got to stay in the history.
This fucking sucks. God, I feel like there's a nice analogy in there somewhere about Indiana Jones being like, modern Indiana Jones fucking sucks. Indiana Jones in the past, much cooler. Yeah. I wish that was the real timeline, not this one. Yeah. Where even the character is trying to get out of the film.
Well, yeah, because it's so meta, right? Harrison Ford doesn't want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
Indiana Jones doesn't want to do it anymore.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.